half your team cramped up tonight, and was
What's
that all?
tell you?
Not in shape.
What's that tell you, right?
What, and also, is
Here's what
anything
we
else
have,
with
a team
Quade?
full of guys that can play 20 minutes. That's what we have. So hopefully have 10 guys that can play, because there's no one that can play more than 10 minutes, 20 minutes right now.
Was it just cramps with Quade? I know he left and didn't come
Yeah,
back.
he's in the cold tub right now because he's cramped his leg and then his arm and then his little finger. It was like that.
Full body
And
cramp.
then, we had him, and you had PJ cramping, you had Hami cramping, you had, Nick, everybody, when they saw one guy grab his leg, they all grabbed their legs. But we're practicing twice tomorrow.
John, you mentioned earlier, I think it's media day, that Kevin Knox had a breakthrough on something. Is it the history of you with kids, freshmen, once they break through something, is that permanent, or is there a lot of back and forth?
No, what we need him to be more assertive, because he kind of does what Malik would do. If I didn't call something for him, sometimes he would just be out there. He'd go 5 minutes and not shoot it. He needs to be alert to make plays, and I kind of got on him at halftime. He was 8 for 10 with 6 rebounds, and he offensive rebound. He did what I wanted him to do, going after the glass. We're just young. I mean, Hami reverted, and all of a sudden he's throwing cross-court hook passes from the corner to the top. I mean, there were a lot of stuff, but most of it is as soon as they got tired, they reverted. So we got to get in better shape. Shea did some good things. All I'm telling Quade, do not hold the ball. Do not hold the ball. Get rid of it, and he can shoot. So now we'll get you shots. You be the guy away from the ball. And if it comes to you and you get in the lane, that's great. So, we've got to narrow into how we're going to play. I thought Wenyon worked hard the whole time and tried and made shots, and he's way better than he was a year ago. I think you see that. We're going to have to see.
How encouraged are you, by the way, Nick sort of looks like a rim protector, that
Not
guy
bad.
for you?
Not bad. He did some good stuff. I mean, offensively, I'm just trying to tell him, just jump hook, man. Don't forget about watch this. No, catch it, fake, and jump hook. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, we'll rebound it. So you try to make it simple and keep it simple for the kids.
You mentioned Wenyon driving to the basket. We didn't see that a lot last year. Is that the guy you recruited, as you said earlier this week?
The guy I recruited was an energy guy that would second and third jumps and fourth jumps and come up with balls that no one came up with and make some shots. And there were a couple drives in the first half that he didn't need to drive. There was the pass ahead. There's nothing there. He's not that's the guy that can cross and do. That's not. But if it's him and a guy, he can get by that guy and get to the rim. So he's just got to recognize, when do I go and when do I move that ball? I'll watch the tape, but it's, we got a ways to go. Let me just say that. And since Eric doesn't coach the team, he said, "Oh, it's early." Yeah. So you're over there eating popcorn. I'm dying here. I got a noose around my neck, and he's telling me, it's early. We'll be fine."
Questions?
How do you think
12 played tonight.
Who?
12.
Who's 12?
Your son.
He did okay. He had to stay on the court the whole time. And he's smart enough to not sub yourself. When you don't get a whole lot of time to play, when you get on that court, you never sub yourself. But he did all right. He's going to have to make open shots, and he's figuring out how to try to play with these guys and put himself in position. I don't think no turnovers. It's huge for him. If you're not turning it over and you're staying in front of people and make a couple shots, you can stay in the game some. But if you're coming down getting scored on every time you're turning it over, you can't be in there. And then I got to deal with his mom when I go home. So don't turn it over and stay in front of people. Make a shot or two.
John, sure it's not the type of defense you expect later in the season, but a lot of hands on the ball, a lot of deflections tonight. Is that kind of...
I have to look at the tape and I'll evaluate it that way. I just know that, you got to take people out. Like, you got to go play the ball. And then everybody's got to see the ball so the guy can't get beat on the dribble. You got to make everything hard. And then you got to rebound it and go. You know, there were rotations that we didn't make. I can still see a couple that we didn't make. But again, this is a team that was a high school team 7 months ago. Now we're trying to get them to create the habits you need to win, and they don't have them yet. They're trying. You know, the guys that were there, Jimmy, and they were at practice, they said, you got no body language, guys, listen. They want to be coached, they want to listen. They just are young. And it's hard to be patient, and I told them, I said, look guys, you know, if I got to start getting meaner, I will. Well, we got to start making this gradual climb. I can't go in and watch a game and have guys that like go through the motions of playing. We got to start working on our press. It's hard to run a press when you don't have out of bounds plays, a side play. We need to work on some zone. It's hard to do all that when you're trying to figure out how to make one more pass and get open and drive into offense. I mean, how do you play pick and roll? We haven't done a good job of teaching it right now. You know, had to do some stuff on the court. You know, I like the team. I like this team, but woo.
John, is there an alpha dog personality on this team? Is it too early? Do you even need that?
There is, but it's on their terms. Like if I feel like being an alpha dog, I'll be an alpha dog, but right now I don't feel like it. Excuse me? If you want to be that guy, you're that guy every time we practice, every game we play, and everybody you're playing against. And we got a couple guys that, to be that guy is really hard, especially if you're that guy all the time. It's really hard. I'd rather be it when I kind of feel like it. And again, that's all the young stuff that we got to deal with. That's part of it.
Preach to your guys all the time.
Guys, this was like a scrimmage. You got this many questions on a scrimmage? Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
It's been back up for a while. You preach passing the ball. At times they overpass instead of just taking an open shot.
Sometimes, but most of the time they were throwing it to another guy who was wide open. I thought Shea had 2 or 3 shots he should have taken. There were a couple that we needed to pass it one more that guys tried to drive it. But I know this, when we moved the ball, when we did a couple lane touches, something good happens. And I'll say this again. Now you may say, well, what if a team just packs it in? Basically, they've surrendered. Their coach says, we can't play this team, so just go in the lane and stand there. Okay, now we're going to have to make some shots, but you saw Quade make shots. You saw Kevin Knox and Wenyon make some shots. You saw, we're not Steph Curry, but I've had way worse shooting teams than this. And we've done okay. Teams that were whew, and even to the point of free throw shooting teams that were worse than this. But we're long, we're active, but you got to play with a competitive spirit to take advantage of that.
Keith and Kyle.
Do you have an injury update on Jared Vanderbilt?
I have no update yet. So Doc will this is probably the week that they're going to look at him and see how he does.
What do you like about what you've seen from PJ? He seemed to show off that little mid-range jump shot and do some things finishing around the rim.
All I keep saying is more motor. You know, and some of it we got to bring it out of him. And then when he does it, just cheer him on and just challenge him to do that. And then when he's not playing with motor, so that, you know, you're on the court, you're never trying to rest your playing one way. And when he gets to that, there's guys better than him, I got to see it. And everybody that they said would be player of the year in our league, all those guys are his position. Okay. They said he'd be player of the year, he'd be player of the year, and he'd be player. You're going to play all 3 of them. Let's see who's better. You got a chance to prove it.
Last one here, Daryl.
I just want to follow. How do you coach more motor?
You do drills to make them do it. You challenge guys to do it. When they're not doing it, put them on the second team. If you demand a lot as a coach, you'll get a lot. If you accept mediocrity, you get it every single time. You just demand it. Like, we don't do that here. And if you can't play, that's okay. You're not going to play much. You'll come off the bench. I remember telling guys, you know you can't start playing this way, right? Come on. You know it, right? I'll play you, and if you're really playing, I'll play you 25, 30 minutes. If you're not, I'll play you 5 minutes. But you know you can't be a starter here, right? Come on. You know you can't be it on your terms and be a starter. And I've done that, not this year, but with other teams. And you won't believe it, that guy started playing with the motor. You just, if you demand a lot, you get a lot. And if you accept mediocrity, you're getting it every single time.
All right, folks, we're right
Thanks.
there. PJ Washington.